Okay, Peter, so here we are, the Monday after the Saturday. So a bit of a relief to be sitting in this chair, and I'm going to report back on a very, very successful show, because obviously there was a lot of months of planning that went into it. And finally, we're here to say, yes, it was a great show. It went really well. We had really exciting fights. The broadcast figures were fantastic. So very, very pleased to be able to report that. So just to recap, I'm sure everybody does know this was the first behind closed doors white collar boxing show, COVID secure, and it basically came off very well. There were a couple of hiccups in the schedule because obviously we ran with no interval, we ran straight through, and a couple of the guys weren't ready precisely on time, but it just meant I had to do a bit of filling in with my MCing for a couple of minutes, and I'm told that people didn't notice that I was just waffling. But we got there in the end. So there were exciting fights, there were knockdowns, there were surprises, but overall I thought the quality of boxing was pretty good, and we had some very exciting moments, and it was pretty smooth other than that. Obviously it was strange with no audience, very strange, especially at the start. It felt like there was almost no atmosphere, but as the show developed, the atmosphere seemed to grow in here. I mean, it was just me and the other officials, the paramedics, the fighters and the corners in this building. That's all we were allowed in this building. And our COVID officer was very secure on that and making sure that people were shuffled over from the other buildings, where they were quarantined over to us to be keyed up for their fight times. But it just did feel like there was an atmosphere here. I don't know, it felt, like you could imagine the people, we didn't know how many people were watching till afterwards, but it just felt like it built and built and built. And it felt like the whole thing got more exciting. So it was great. And on those audience figures, we've now got the numbers in, and it's incredible. It's much more than we expected. We had, I think YouTube have now confirmed 10,598 views on our live stream. 10,598 views on our live stream. Obviously, each of those views represents a device. Lots of people were watching on their phones and all that sort of thing. But you could have had 10 people crowded around a phone, crowded around a television, all that sort of thing. And the other thing that amazed me, and I'm just so pleased about, was we were viewed in a total of 109 countries. 109. Now, I had a few guys from Belgium, friends of mine, saying they were going to watch. One of the fighters said he had some friends in Spain who were watching in Spain. So I thought to, maybe 3 countries, and it's great to use that tag almost sort of facetiously, an international show. But we were viewed in 109 countries around the world. The UK was obviously number 1. The US was number 2, and we go down from there. So we don't have any connections really with the US. Other than some people I know over there, but nobody had talked about it. Nobody had said they were watching about it. No fighters said their family in the US were watching about it. We had a huge number of people watching from the US. So that was just fascinating. Also, on top of that, so we can say we definitely had 10,598 views. We were definitely watched in 109 countries. Our partners at Seconds Out also streamed the show live on their watch party, where they had Don Charles and the rest of the panel watching the Usyk Chisora fight. Now, in between watching that fight and the undercard fights, they had the Rumble playing permanently in the background. They were referring to it constantly, and they would bring up the stream to the main screen to talk about it, with their viewers constantly. So they had 160,000 viewers on their show. So how many people watched that? We're not counting that as a view. We're saying 10,598 on our direct stream, but there were another 160,000 people who saw a bit of it, even though that wasn't particularly what they tuned in to watch. So the figures were amazing, and the feedback's been brilliant. Moving forward, there are a couple of things we'll tighten up on, and a major thing that has changed. Our COVID officer was just advising me that we can really ramp up on our testing now. So there's a load of testing kits that are coming in. We'll be able to test the guys not only the week before their fight, we'll be able to test them on the day of their fight, literally a few hours before, and get a positive result within 12 minutes. Well, hopefully we won't get a positive result, but you know what I mean. We'll get a clear confirmation that they are not contagious in any way before the fight. So we're going to ramp up and improve our COVID testing. Other than that, we're just going to tighten up on a few things. And, I think we're going to have a much bigger show next time, a much, how can it be more international? I was going to say more international. How can it be more international? A much, bigger, stronger, longer show next time. Now that we know that the concept works, now that we know that people are hungry for it, now we've had the feedback for it. And yesterday, Peter, my inbox was full of people saying, can I get on your next show? So I'm here to announce now that the next show will be February the 13th, 2021. So we've got a few weeks to go, you know what I mean? We've got obviously this lockdown to get out of the way. We've got Christmas to get out of the way. People get in shape in January, and on February the 13th, there is going to be another live rumble. It's going to be a bigger live rumble. It's going to be a better live rumble. What we're going to do, we're going to treble, we're going to quadruple, we're going to get 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times more viewers, I'm sure. I don't know if we get more than 109 countries. I don't know if there are more. I suppose there's about 300 countries, aren't there? But anyway, I don't know if they've all got broadband. So yeah, so I'm just really, really pleased with it. I just got to thank all the boxers for their level of commitment. Thank all the people that put so much input into the show. Especially yourself, especially guys like Matt Stone, our COVID officer, who enabled us to get over all these hurdles, understand the legislation, understand, and get us a blueprint for doing this show safely. Obviously, in this COVID environment. So yeah, I'm just full of thanks for people and grateful that we could do it and bring the sport back. And we've proved the concept work. We've done it safely, and it's on to bigger and better things. It's fantastic, and thank you to everyone that watched as well and supported us. Really pleased. Okay, any of you that didn't get a chance to tune into Live Rumble, the whole stream is available to view online. And if you just want a couple of highlights, I'll chuck you some up now.
So Tom's throwing those big bombs, but he's catching the counters from Simon. Now his nerves will take a lot of... Nice right hand there from Tom, though. Simon winning behind the jab. Oh, and he needs to keep his hands up. Caught a big right cross there, but he took it well. Keeps moving. Good counter right hand from Simon there. His bombs away from the start for these two. They're not really feeling each other out. Simon crops that right hand again. And Tom's telegraphing that right hand. Plenty of opportunities for counter. Nice counters from Barlow, and Tom is down. Thought the referee was going to stop it there, but it was a heavy knockdown, but he's going to give him a count, give him a chance. And Albert just trying to fight Josh off now as Josh just marches forward. Doesn't seem as fluid as he did early on though, although that right hand, a nice right hand counter there thrown. Josh still again moving and just looking for that position to get those body shots in. And that's what Albert wants to stay away from. Needs to pump that jab out, keep Josh off balance. Albert switching stance now. I haven't seen him do that before. Josh setting his feet and putting a lot of power into those shots. Albert grabbing hold there, looking increasingly ragged here from that sharp boxing he was exhibiting in the early rounds. Okay, and that's the contest over. And the referee and paramedic just keeping him down there to stay safe. But Albert's actually talking to Josh and saying well done.